what it is today, which was a vision of having a one-stop shop.
You hire the best of the best.
Yes, we do. Everybody here to me is family.
Our guiding principles are:
be kind,
speak honestly,
make it simple,
act fairly,
put people over profits.
Simple solutions.
Well, good morning, everybody in Rogersville Nation. How are you all doing today? I don't know. Shoot us a message. Let us know.
Hey, you guys got some rain.
We did get some rain out here.
I tell you, it took me a little bit longer to get here. The roads got water over them.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. You know, I come from the other direction, but I got up and took a hard look at my basement because our yard was pretty flooded.
Yeah.
In all of that. So.
Yeah.
But our basement was dry, so we were pretty happy. The sump must have been running okay.
It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, we're glad to be here in the Resource Center studio. It's plenty warm in here and dry and all of that good stuff. And we got Bruce Porter here, and we're talking about financial news and advice and all of that good stuff. You know, I was talking with my two youngest boys, actually, yesterday. My wife and I were on the way from church, and we said, you know, if you just decided that, I mean, you're 20 years old right now. If by the time you were 50, you wanted to have $1 million, all you got to do is do the math and get there.
That's exactly right. You have to assume some kind of a rate of return, but I would encourage somebody 20 years old, don't use a bank rate of return. It's going to be harder to get to that point when you're not making as much as the inflation factor is. So, you know, you have to take a couple of things into consideration, but young people need to be thinking that way because they will wake up and they will be as old as we are.
Yes.
I've still got an 18, 15, 12-year-old mind.
I know what you mean. But, you know, one of the things we talked about is there doesn't seem to be a lot of folks out there that are willing to take a young 20-year-old, you know, making $15 an hour. They don't have a big IRA. They don't have a big investment, but they can do $50 a week. There doesn't seem to be a lot of places for kids like that to go to actually get on a good program. Right. And maybe you know of some, but we really didn't. I mean, other than, you know, getting a Robinhood account or something and just dripping some money in, but still there's no guidance from that.
Right. You know, this year our tag is planning made simple, right? It doesn't matter what age you are. You have to take the time to develop a plan. Now, best laid plans always change.
Sure.
All right. So we all understand that. So the point is you take a plan in your mind, you write it down, and then you review it. You go to it, you look at it, you try to you know, save a little bit more. If you miss a month or a week or two, then you try to catch up. At least you're paying attention to it. You know, one thing during this period of time in the year, everybody's thinking about money because of taxes. Taxes are coming up in April, and then there's the big political environment we're in, and everybody's worried about the taxes. Well, you know, don't worry about what you can't control.
Well, gas has only gone up 10% in the past week.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably 10% a week that's about, we're on pace.
We're on pace.
We'll be back to $4 or $5 a gallon in no time.
In no time.
Right?
Well,
but back to planning. You know, kids, they need to develop a plan. They need to write it down. They need to review it. And, you know, at the Resource Center, we don't have a lot of focus on how much money a person's got. We're there to be a resource for customers. Now, somebody calls, somebody comes in our door, we're going to help them at whatever level they're at. Now, companies have minimums and companies have restrictions and things like that. But it takes very little time to sit down and try to help somebody map out a plan to where they feel better. You know, we feel like we've accomplished something by helping them get a direction. You know, that's the main thing. I have people right now that are older coming in. That we had a viewer that actually sent in a question to me that says, I've got a CD renewing at 0.23%. All right. Now, you can definitely shop all the banking programs around, and we've got the availability to do that. and try to find a higher interest rate. But what's the objective of those funds? What are you trying to accomplish? I can ask a 70-year-old that question. I can ask a 20-year-old that question. Now,
Well, 20-year-old's putting down a down payment on a $60,000 car with
yeah, and so until they get that through their system,
Right.
they'll be broke for a while.
Yes.
Right? We've
Right.
all been there, had that. But, point being, you have a plan in place that you can tweak, you can adjust, you can see your shortcomings, and you can see what the problems are. If you're not following through with your plan, then who do you have to blame, right? And so back to our 70-year-old. So, he was looking for higher interest rates. What's the objective? I just want to spend a little bit of my interest. Do you ever need your principal? No, I never want to spend my principal. Most people with CD-type investing, they buy it because of FDIC insurance. They buy it because it's secure. And if you do your research on that, it'll scare you a little bit. But that's the reasoning behind buying a bank CD, is because it is safe and secure. Well, if it pays 0.23%, I'm not sure how much premium I'm paying for safety.
Yeah.
You can also go to the other safe avenues, which are insurance policies. You can actually insure your money through an annuity, a fixed annuity, different environment, but at a 2.4% interest rate. Do the math on 100,000. That's the difference between $230 a year and $2,400.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Big difference there. Big difference there.
So, point being, planning, very important at any age, and reach out and ask questions. That's the main thing.
And a 70-year-old that has a principal amount of money that never wants to touch their principal and only wants to live off of income is a great setup for an irrevocable trust to actually really
absolutely.
protect that money. And we're going to be talking about some of those things tomorrow night at the Resource Center at 6:30.
6 or 6:30?
6 o'clock. We do that at 6 o'clock. But if you want, we got a few of those seats left. Maybe, I don't know. It may be full. But
Well, 882-1800. Call the office, and we'll see. We're doing it tomorrow at 6, and then I believe Wednesday at 2. And back in I think November, first part of December, we were doing them weekly for a little bit because there was a demand, and that's fine. We'll kind of accommodate who we can. We try to keep those groups to
Small.
five couples
At the most.
so that we can
Yeah.
socially distance and things like that. And we have a hazmat crew that sanitizes. And we're all dressed in bubble wrap and plastic. And,
Not exactly.
well, kind of.
But
you know.
anyway, love to have you there if you want to know more about it. It's a good time. It only takes about half an hour. And just give us a call at 882-1800. You can learn a little more about advanced or basic and some advanced planning techniques.
Absolutely.
We
We'd be
cover
glad
it all.
to help.
And we'd love to see you there. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.